Welcome to another electrifying episode of Bright Brains. In today's show, we're taking a journey back in time to the early days of hip hop in Cincinnati. Get ready to dive into the rich history of this vibrant music scene with none other than the legendary local rapper Nuveal Doc Bryant. Join us as he shares his incredible stories and memories from a bygone era, giving us a glimpse into the roots of hip hop in the Queen City. Let's tune in and relive the golden age of Cincinnati hip hop through the eyes and experiences of the one and only Nuveal Doc Bryant. All right, we're recording. All right, Dan. Welcome to the show, Doc Chills. We know me and you, we work together, and you said you want to talk about Cincinnati hip hop. You know, when I think about Cincinnati, I really don't think about hip hop, to be honest. So I was interested to see what the connection was. So just tell everybody a little bit about yourself, how you got started in hip hop, and just tell everybody about your story, man.
This how we got connect. You look like my dude, Chill Up Rock. He an old school rapper. Y'all Google him, but he from Brooklyn. And I didn't do a show with him, but we got backstage with him one night. But yeah, my name Doc Chills. I'm from the Bond Hill crew. And I guess we got started when WAIF. It's like a stepsister like connection on the radio, right? And my brother and them was calling in on the phone, and this dude named Dr. Ice was like, if anybody can spit, call on the phone. And they called on the phone, and I didn't get a chance to spit, but they was spitting on the phone. And then he was like, can y'all be down here next weekend or next week or whatnot? And so that's where it got started. We was doing parties. This guy named Cliff Sounds Productions, he kind of caught on to what we was doing, and he was like, I'll give y'all $5 to carry my speakers, but in return, I will let y'all rap. And we was doing these UC parties, we was doing Woodward parties, and it just started blowing up from there. And then WAIF had like 5 DJs where you could play your tape. Grandpa, he was a DJ. Sugar Daddy. Now, Sugar Daddy, he's Big Rob now. He do this R&B social thing. Y'all can Google him. And once our tapes was on the radio, I came back to school and people were saying my raps like I was Curtis Blow or somebody. Curtis Blow was one of my idols that I did a show with. You know what I'm saying?
And you did a show with Curtis Blow?
Oh man, Curtis Blow. Then okay, I don't know where. See, you caught me off guard. I don't know where to start, but I think it really started when this dude named Willie Price had like, he's like, man, I'm gonna take y'all out of town, and my dude Barry Tifford, we gonna do Louisville, Lexington, St. Louis, and y'all gonna go down there and y'all gonna perform. So this is my first time meeting LL Cool J, but I didn't think, nobody knew he was going to be, the greatest rapper of all time. So we met him. We went down to Louisville. We went down to Lexington. And then my brother was going to battle him. And he was like, my brother was like, you go first. And he was saying that Grandmaster Flash, it's like a jungle sometimes. This make me wonder. So my brother was like, I'm about to smash dude. But this other dude from Louisville jumped in and LL killed him. But I was on tour with LL Cool J, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, Divine Sounds. And you got to realize, man, I'm 54 years old. This is like 1982, 83, like something in there. Divine Sounds had this hit called What People Do for Money. I never ever heard of LL Cool J, but his first single was I Need a Beat. You know what I'm saying? And we was just rolling from there.
Yeah, that's wild, man. So you said this was in 1998. How old were you?
1982.
Oh,
88.
1982.
I'm
Wow.
sorry. I mean, like, I'm 54, man. But this
Yeah.
was like at 1982, 83, somewhere in there.
Yeah. So this was like back when like hip hop was just like kind of getting off the ground, just kind
It,
of
it,
going mainstream.
it was underground
Yeah.
because then a lot of hip hop get played on the radio. Now you had Sugar Hill Gang and they had the Rappers Delight. But Curtis Blow used to tell me he was rapping before them, blah blah blah, and things took off. Like, and then we was doing a Fresh Festival, like with Run DM. I wasn't on the scene with Run DMC, but I got backstage with Run DMC, the Fat Boys, Houdini. Now I did a lot of shows with Houdini.
Oh yeah.
And I guess 5 Minutes of Funk, Friends, how many of us have them? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you one thing about them, man. They never acted like stars. They
Oh
just
yeah.
was down to earth people. Like, so the dude that hooked the show up was like, y'all gotta come in this way backstage. And my mother had hair rollers, you know what I'm saying, in her hair. And then Houdini was like, where you going? She was like, I just dropped them off. And they was like, you ain't gonna party with us? And but they was just like true down to earth. Um, Dr. Ice was Jaleel, brother from Houdini, but my name used to be Dr. Ice. And then it was Dr. Ice that put us on the radio show, and it was a lot of confusion. But Cincinnati was live back then. Like the two spots that you go to break dance and your battle raps, it was like this thing called the Skywalk. It was downtown. And like it was a theater, it was Arby's. We had this game arcade, and it was called the Skywalk. The reason why we used to go down there to battle because the acoustics was so great that you didn't even really have to have no music just to rap. But either we met downtown at the Skywalk or USA skating rinks to battle.
Oh wow, man. So yeah, let's talk about that. The beginnings of hip hop. Do you remember like when you first got introduced to hip hop? Like when you first like heard like hip hop, and like when you were like, oh man, this is something I want to be a part of.
It was on the radio, but once again, a lot of rap songs was on the radio. Like at that time, um, Grandmaster Flash had it's like a jungle sometimes. It made me want Sugar Hill Gang. But my friend that was just a little older than me, and we used to go. I guess statute of limitations is up. We used to just go to this store called King Quick and just
Yeah.
rob them for liquor, and then we get a buzz. We used to chill on these pathways,
No,
and
don't
he was like,
incriminate yourself, man. You don't want the cops to come arrest you.
I mean, if they want to arrest me for 57 years ago, what happened? But anyway, he was like, we was drinking. He was like, I want y'all to hear something. He was older than us. And he spit his lyrics. Then my brother was like, I got some lyrics. At the time, I ain't even know my brother was spitting like that. And then I was like, I got some lyrics. And then he was like, I'm gonna hook you up with somebody that I know. His name was Mandel, and his name was Romeo. And then he brought him on the scene, and we hook up, and he was like, man, I love y'all because y'all drinking there. But he sounded like Spider D. It was a
You said
rapper called
like who?
Spider D.
You said Spider D.
Spider D. But he had his like type voice. You know what I'm saying? So all of a sudden, we going around Bond Hill at their parties, Jason Chapman, Sean, Skeety, they had these parties. So on a Friday night, we would go to 3 different parties to rap for free
Oh
at the
wow.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Stop me when I be rambling on like
Nah,
that.
nah, keep going. You good? So like, what when y'all were y'all performing your own songs, or were they like
Yeah.
covers? Yeah.
Well, at first we would rap like like Spider D had the vocal, and then it was an instrumental. So when they throw the instrumental on, that's when we used to rap on top of that. Um, but eventually, I started making beats and going into the studio. This guy named Terry Brown was like, man, I got y'all some studio time. I didn't know if it was for real or not. And I'm like, man, come on, man, you ain't playing with it. He's like, nah, meet us here. We going to the studio. We went to the studio called Alpha Studios. It was in Reading. And it was Larry Zimmerman. I think he passed away because the last time I talked to him, he told me he had cancer.
Oh man.
And but his studio was off the chain. He had 16 tracks with the wheel to wheel, and we went in there and started spitting. But that's what separated us from all the other rappers. That I gotta have this drum machine. And my mother was like, I'm gonna buy you this drum machine. It was like for $300. It was a Roland. It was a Roland 505. And I started making beats, and then we started going in the studio ourselves. Actually, where I'm sitting at, it was another studio this dude named Roger had, and it was across the street. He was a country. These guys really didn't know about rap back then. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So when we go in the studio with our beat machine, they're like, what is y'all trying to do? But it sounded good. But battling was our thing. Like to go battle another crew on a Saturday morning on Skywalk or at a US skating rink, it was off the chain.
So
Now
when
going
y'all would
back to the,
battle, when y'all would
I'm
battle,
sorry.
like what now you could when y'all would battle, like was it like any kind of money on the line or anything like that, or was
Nah,
it
it
just
wasn't no money. It was just pride on the line. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And for real, nobody was cursing back then. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But I'm from Bond Hill. We the Bond Hill crew, and we might be battling the street beat crew, and you know what I'm saying? And then we had our own break dancers, because back then break dancing was big.
yeah.
So every rap group had a break dancing group. You know what I'm saying? So we battling with dancing and rapping. So this dude named Cliff, he was older than us, but he had all this equipment. Like we saying, he's like, I'm gonna pay y'all $5 to carry my equipment in, and I'll let y'all rap. And we was at UC. And then we didn't know about like the Q dogs and all that, but he was DJing a party. We got on the mic, we rocked, we turned it out, and then they was doing a step. And we just got in line. We teenagers, but I don't know that this wasn't cool back then. But we was doing a dance, man. They was trying to kill us. So Cliff got on the mic, was like, man, Q fight say or whatever they were saying. And then dude was like, you let these guys rap, you letting them dance. What's up with that? He was like, man, if you don't shut up, I'll pack my stuff right now and leave. But I didn't know that when you in college, you can't do another sorority, I guess, step.
Yeah.
But but that was funny, but they was about to kill us though. It was all good. But Cincinnati, we was like, it wasn't a million rappers back then. It was just a few rappers, you know what I'm saying? And we would go do our thing, but now it's like a gazillion rappers. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody was making millions of dollars rapping back then. It was an underground thing. You know what I'm saying? Two turntables, your beat machine, your mixer, and you go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
That's
let you
wild,
ask
man.
me a question, though. I'm
Uh
sorry, I just
nah
be
nah, you good,
rambling.
man. You good. So like Cincinnati, we have a rich music history. I know was it Bootsy Collins is here and funk music, it
Roger
originated
Trapman. I
here.
mean, that Boosie Collins, Midnight Star. Now we were supposed to do a song with Midnight Star. It was called The Prep because it was a dance out called The Prep, and Reggie and uh what was his name? Zooty, Tootie, Trudy. And he was like, "Can y'all put something to this?" But for some reason, it just never happened. It never got put out. But the way they used to beef with funk bands like Roger Troutman, like you said, Bootsy Collins and all them. Uh, oh, I miss someone that's real important. Uh, but they was fire. Uh, Ohio players, but
Oh yeah,
they
yeah,
used to be. You know what I'm saying? So they used to beef. Funk
yeah.
bands used to beef. So rappers used to beef. Like this is how it was in Cincinnati.
Hmm.
For real, man. But like after school, we would go to WAIF and be like, "We got a new tape we just made. You know what I'm saying? Can you play it?" And then, they play it. And then I go back to school and somebody be saying my rap like I was a star. Like, I'm
That's
gonna
wild.
battle you and be saying my rap. Like, man, you saying my rap, dude. But we wouldn't get no money. I mean, we did Bogarts every weekend. Um,
Yeah,
like after 2 o'clock, they would let teenagers come in. So the alcohol, you know, they weren't selling no alcohol, even though we was still drinking. They weren't selling no
yeah,
alcohol. But Marcus and Papa T used to hook us up with Bogarts like every weekend. And when we perform, it be like, are you kidding me? Are y'all coming to see us? Like for real? So the Bond Hill crew was my brother, Master E. Uh, me- I was Doc Chills. I was Dr. Ice at the time, but I had to change my name because I didn't know it was a million Dr. Ices out there. Uh, Danny O was my cousin. That's another story for another day. And he became his own entity because Marcus and Papa T was like, be two rap groups because Danny O do his own thing. And he my first cousin. And he like dropped the record. He dropped the record before we did. He had a song called It Was a Killin', and I like the rhyme. You know what I'm saying? He was cool with Cole Premier, like Shane. Like you gotta Google all these people. You know what I'm saying? But they
yeah.
out there if you want to Google them. You know what I'm saying? So, and it was just like every Saturday we was at skating or downtown rapping. And nobody was killing nobody. I mean, we got into fights. I mean, I guess that ain't gonna never go away. But
Yeah.
nobody was shooting nobody. Like everybody went home alive. But rapping was like, get on. Like Cool J taught me something. LL Cool J taught me something. Like ain't no rules to battling. You can talk somebody about somebody mama, whatever. And I'm like, okay, okay. Like when my brother was about to battle him, then he came out, he was already battling somebody. And he ripped dude up with the I'm the godfather of intelligent rap, waiting for a big bro to snap. Musical wizard who's taking no crap. Your underarms a funky homeboy step back. But you Google that. That was his battle rap. Then he had a song, I Need a Beat. I have never heard this song before, but it's in this movie called Crush Groove.
Yeah.
You gotta take you can Google all this. I'm sorry, man. I'm rambling.
Nah,
Ask
it's
me a
cool, man.
question.
I'm learning a lot, man. But it seemed like when it first started, this whole hip hop thing was like a real positive kind of movement, you know. But now I feel like hip hop has kind of switched and it's no longer that positive environment that it once was. I feel like it's kind of filled with a lot of violence and negativity. What do you think happened?
You know, I
Like,
call
why
you
do you
Ike.
think?
I never asked you, could I call you that? But
It's
Ike,
cool.
it's like this. Back in the day, like now, if your name was the Bond Hill Crew, you'll get shot if you went to
Yeah,
Avondale. You know what I'm saying? Or to another community. But when we was rapping, everybody was behind us. And you know what I'm saying? If you battle somebody and you beat them, it was cool. We drank beer afterwards. You know what I'm saying? But now everything got to be violent. You know what I'm saying? If you lose a
yeah,
rap battle, you might get killed.
yeah.
I don't know, man. Drug selling changed a lot of music when it came to hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like, only tough people back then was real tough people. But now, since everybody got a gun, everybody tough. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like in my neighborhood, man, if you weren't a real tough guy, uh, you was gonna get whooped. But
Are there
everybody
any
tough now.
are yeah, it's interesting, man. Like, you listen to old school hip hop and it's real, positive, it's uplifting. And it has like a soul to it. I was recently listening to that new Drake album and it just seems devoid of like soul. It just seemed empty. It's a lot of music nowadays just seem empty. It just seemed about the cash, you know.
I'm so old school, but Drake is just like the last rapper that I said I ain't trying to follow nobody else no more.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
how old I am. But once again, back then the violence wasn't there. It was creativity. You know what I'm saying? Like when somebody battling you, like this wasn't written down. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? We was going at it like off the top of our head. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I don't know. And then I don't know. It's the money that was involved. I mean, record sales. It wasn't a bunch of record sales back then. Rap barely got played on the radio back then.
Yeah.
You know
Who
what I'm
was
saying?
the
Like,
first like rapper to really break through to the radio? Was it LL Cool J or was it like Sugar Hill?
nah. It was Sugar Hill Gang, Curtis
Yeah,
Blow, Grandmaster Flash. But Cool J will tell you this. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And we did this little tour. I'm sorry to keep coughing. Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, they had this record, was Genius of Rap. And it was just hot for like 2 years. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
then this this shady uh promoter was like, I'm gonna hook up with him. Once again, excuse me, man. I'm sorry to keep coughing, but
Nah, you cool.
Willie Price coming to my parents' home, like, I'm gonna take your sons on tour and we gonna have a great time and I'm gonna make sure they all right. And then as soon as we got in this Cadillac, he was telling us how we would nothing. You know what I'm
To
saying?
what?
See, that's the record business. Like
Yeah,
I tell your parents, like, oh, like a coach from college, like I'm gonna recruit your son, blah blah blah. And then he's like, yeah, I ain't this. But he
yeah,
was teaching us that I'm gonna try to show y'all the game because he told me some things about Marvin Gaye, the Cincinnati Gardens, but he was this promoter that he had clout like that. And we was like getting $300 on the weekend, and we thought we was getting ripped off, but everybody else was like, y'all getting $300 a piece? You know, like it was a thing, like, man, it was incredible, but
yeah,
since like Bun Hill was the capital of hip hop in Cincinnati. What I mean by that, people will catch the bus to Bun Hill to break dance, to rap. And then I met these one chicks. I'm like, what's up? How y'all doing? I'm like, y'all don't live here. She's like, we was trying to meet the Bun Hill crew. I'm like, for real? But see, like back then, there wasn't no videos to show you who he was. You wouldn't know who he was unless you came to the concert.
yeah. It was all
But
word out.
Bogarts was our home. It's this club in Clifton called Bogarts. We was turning that out every weekend, packed, sold out. We might got $300, but they was getting 3,000. But it is what it is.
Yeah. Are there any like notable like hip hop artists from Cincinnati right now?
I don't know, but like Jabri, High Tech, he a producer.
You from
I'm trying
Cincinnati?
to think. He, I have to keep count. What it was, man, we was just trying to get record deals. Like my agents was trying to push us to get a record deal, but New York was the only place you can get a record deal. And if you wasn't from New York, they wasn't letting you in.
Oh wow.
Because that's what LL was telling me, like, because he thought we was corny. And
LL thought you was
when
corny?
we was in Louis, yeah,
Oh
because
wow.
he from New York.
Yeah.
But some cats threw ice at him. You know what I'm saying? When we was performing here. And my other dude, Romeo, was telling him, like, man, when we get to Cincinnati, it's gonna be live. And then this the last conversation he had. He was like, y'all know them cats that threw ice at me? I'm like, yeah, when we get off stage. I guess he thought we were supposed to beat him up. But
Oh
I
wow.
I dressed him like, there they go right there. And he ain't do nothing. And
Yeah.
then people was like, y'all were supposed to, you know, beat him up or whatnot. I'm like, man, you want to say you the godfather of rap? You know what I'm saying? But when he got back on the bus, he was like, if y'all was in Hollis, Queens, they would have threw ice at y'all. But I'm in Cincinnati, so they threw ice at me. I gave him the brother. And that's the last time I talked to dude.
Yeah.
And
That's
now he a
wild.
movie star. You know what I'm saying?
LL Cool J, yeah, I remember seeing him in the movie Deep Blue Sea. Remember that movie?
I mean, he got a TV show. Like he a
Yeah,
cop and everything. Ice
yeah,
T too. You know,
yeah,
like, but you know, I never knew at that day he was gonna be a movie star. I mean, we just rapping.
yeah.
I mean, I ain't even know rapping was gonna last this long. And then,
Exactly.
like the first studio I went to in Alpha Studios, he was like, guys, this is cool, but y'all need to learn how to sing because rap gonna play out. Man, rap been here forever.
Yeah, I
Never
know.
played out.
It just turned 50 this year, you know, which is
Yeah.
crazy. So with rap just turning 50 years old, um, the style has changed so much. Do you think hip hop and rap is still going to remain dominant going forward, or
Yeah.
do you think like you
Yeah.
say, yeah,
You know what, man? For real, rap was always here. It got known 50 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So everybody said, but it has always been here, especially up in New York, especially in Bronx with Cool Herc and all them. I never met Cool Herc, but this is how I got started at a party. He was mixing, DJing, somebody started rapping, blah, blah, blah. That's
oh,
why
Cool Herc is
Jay-Z
from
be
here?
like, no, Cool Herc was in the Bronx.
Oh, I
You know what I'm
got you.
saying? That's where like started popping. You know what I'm saying? But it was really longer than 50 years ago. They
Yeah,
say 50, because that's cool. That's even. Let's say 50 years. But so, I mean, it was what it was, man. Like to wear my shoes with no shoestrings. And then when I go somewhere and people be like, you don't have any shoestrings in your shoes. I'm like, I know. That was our culture back then. That was Run
yeah,
DMC. When I first met Run DMC, they was like, if you really put your mind to it, you could do this.
yeah,
I'm like, oh my God. Like, like the night that I met all of them at the Fresh Festival, I couldn't get no sleep. Then when I seen them perform, I couldn't get no sleep the next day. I didn't sleep for 3 days. Like when I was
damn,
rapping, but when I seen them perform, it changed my life. Like the
yeah,
DJ scratching, Jam Master Jay up there scratching, and lasers going off, and all the break dancers. And I mean, it was just see, break dancing was part of hip hop.
yeah.
It ain't part of hip hop now. You know what I'm
You don't
saying?
see
But
too many break
no,
dancers.
I'm sorry, I ain't mean to cut you off. Go
No,
ahead.
I was just saying you don't see too many break dancers anymore. Why do
So
you think that is?
breakdancing, I don't, a lot of people can't do it.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
ain't like the booty call, you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
you gonna be spinning on your head, spinning on your hand, like Ross and Booker and Mark, my dude Mark Ward used to be ticking, little great. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It was an art, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You don't see it now because everybody can't do it.
that's
Now,
true.
Common, that's my dude. He's an actor now, but
Yeah.
we actually friends, like childhood friends. You
Oh,
know what I'm
Common,
saying?
the rapper from
And
Chicago.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. He used
that's
to
wild.
come to
So,
Cincinnati. He used to come to Cincinnati because his cousins live here. He would come
oh
every
wow.
summer. But I never knew that he was even checking us out. But we used to play basketball, barbecue, fight, the whole he had this like house tape. Man, I threw it out the window like, man, we don't listen to that. I gave him a Run DMC album, and I'm like, I gotta have this back. I'm
Yeah.
letting you borrow this. You can't keep this. You know what I'm saying? Just to hip him on to hip hop. And then he went to college and Ajale is his one of his cousins. He's like, yeah, Rashi just got a deal. I'm like, what kind of deal? Basketball, like rapping? I never knew he rapped. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think it was like a year from he was down at the music hall with the
Mm.
orchestra and everything. And my best friend, Sister Candace, was like, he want to see you. Do you want to get some tickets? Because I haven't seen dude in like 10 years, but I hit him up like he was like, no man, we kicked it. We talked about old days, you know what I'm saying?
And yeah, I
I,
feel
I
you.
think they moved to Brooklyn. Him, Ajale, they wouldn't bring me because they thought I was still stuck in my old ways,
Yeah. What do you mean
drinking,
by old?
fighting.
What do you mean by that? Stuck in your old ways.
When I was drinking, fighting every
Oh
day,
yeah, I
So,
got you.
Ajale was like, don't bring him to New York. He gonna get us all killed. Like, but but that's my guy. I met I met his mom for the first time, and she was
Yeah,
like, uh, it, it- everybody think Nate and Nuveal is one person. It's two people. Nate was my brother, and I'm Nuveal. Cause she used to be like, which one of y'all Nate and which one of y'all Nuveal? But everybody thought Nathan Nuveal was our name, but it's two
yeah.
people.
That's wild, man. So yeah,
I
it's
keep
interesting.
rambling on.
Nah, you cool, man.
Yeah,
It's it's a beautiful thing. It spawns so much from the lyricism, the music, the dancing, the graffiti. It was a movement. I can't really see anything like that, and it was organic too. I can't really compare it to anything else. It was a whole thing, and it kind of feels like it's kind of been co-opted. Like what it is now isn't what it started out as. I wish it could like go back
I'm
to that
I,
positive
I'm
movement.
glad you brought up the graffiti part, man. That was
Yeah,
the hip hop art. Like all this was combined together. Like McDonald's, where Richie's used to be on Reading Road, is closed
yeah,
now, but it used to be a McDonald's. But everybody sprayed this graffiti with Bond Hill Crew on it. So Jim was like, "You and the Bun Hill crew, I'm calling police." Like I didn't spray all that. I don't know who did that. You know what I'm saying? But that was what it was. Like at Woodward, somebody sprayed Bun Hill crew on Woodward property. It was beautiful, but I didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? But it was
yeah,
just part of hip hop. It was the way we lived, man. Hip
yeah,
hop was like, if I could say it, like drinking, rapping, sweatsuits. You know what I'm saying? Don't look like the normal person. That was hip hop in Cincinnati, man. It was a lot of good rappers in Cincinnati, man. But if I say one and don't say the other, they gonna say, why you ain't say my name? But when you wanted to battle somebody, it was on, man. Like one
yeah,
day, rest in peace, Cliff. He didn't notice, but my brother got on the radio. Like I said, every day it was a different DJ on the radio, and you could actually get your stuff played on the radio because they was a stepchild commercial community radio. But we were stars by playing our tapes there. And my brother told them, like, anybody want to battle us, meet us at skating. And I'm like, man, why you say that? Soon as we got there, Cliff just pulling up in his van, like, I got the Bun Hill crew in the van. Man, 1,000 rappers came out. They was rocking the van. And Cliff was like, what the hell is going on? But as my brother said, meet us at skating. It was like
You say
1,000
skate,
rappers
you
up
talking
there.
about are you talking about the Fun
Yes,
Factory?
say.
What?
Nah, the Fun Factory was in Norwood, but it wasn't hip hop. It was
Yeah.
called USA Skating. Then it turned into Golden Skates. Like
Oh
during the
yeah.
summer, on Tuesdays, it would be jumping. And then when school start, it went back to Saturdays. And then you come back to Bun Hill. And then you go to Chili Company and play Tunk and gamble. And you know what I'm saying? I'm just, we'd be out to like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, but it wasn't no big deal because everybody wasn't killing everybody back then. Like
Yeah.
my mother had everybody's phone number, and that dude had everybody mother phone. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it wasn't no like you gonna get killed or nothing. But it was, man, them was the greatest times. And
Yeah.
hip hop ain't gonna never be like that, but that was the greatest times. So when Cool J made Rock the Bells, he had this verse like, all you Jerry Curl suckers wearing high heel boots like ballerina. What I mean is you a Fruit Loop troop. And then I'm like, is he talking about Divine Sounds? Cause they had Jerry curls and high heel boots. For real. I mean, we was all like sleeping in, it was 2 hotel rooms with like 18 people. Like I just slept on the floor. Like you just had to make your room. But I just was like, I'm on tour. I would say I was on tour with LL Cool J, but he wasn't a star back then. He just had
Yeah.
the I Need a Beat. So he had the Run DMC leather pants and leather shoes, and we walking around with those shoestrings, and he talking about who can cop. Like, you look older than me. I'm like, Cut Creator. I ain't know his name was Cut Creator back then, LL Cool J DJ. But
Yeah.
he looked older than me. But he was like, you can get it. I went across the street. I got us a bottle of Bacardi. I'm like, okay, okay. But I was copping here too. When you look old, you just get liquor.
Hey, sorry to interrupt, but are you looking to reach a dynamic and engaged audience of curious minds? Well, look no further. Bright Brains Podcast is the perfect platform to showcase your business or product. You'll be able to reach a diverse and intelligent audience and engage with listeners passionate about personal development, technology, and more. Elevate your brand through thought-provoking discussions. Don't miss this opportunity to promote your business on one of the fastest growing podcasts in the market. Contact us today to discuss advertising options and elevate your brand to the next level. Contact us at brightbrainspod@gmail.com to secure your advertising spot on Bright Brains today. Again, that's Bright Brains with a Z, pod, P-O-D, @gmail.com. Now, back to the podcast. Yeah. So what ended up happening to the Bond Hill crew? Um, so like y'all all grew up or just like grew apart? Or y'all still making music or
Well, well, like, okay, I'm gonna try to explain as best way as possible. Marcus and Papa T was our like manager at the time, but they were saying y'all need to be 2 groups. Danielle split off being his group. Like he said, he was the one of the first guys that made a record in Cincinnati.
uh,
Um, Drac was like second. His name Drac. They think his name Drac, not Whack, but his name is Drac. You know what I'm saying? Like I said,
Yeah.
you can Google all these things, but me and him just got through talking a couple of days ago. Uh, I still rap. I just do it for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't really think nobody, I say something, I make a song, and I put it in the radio. But today, you can have a studio for as little as nothing and make a song and put it on the internet. We ain't had no internet back then. So
Yeah.
if you wasn't from New York, if you wasn't from Chicago, if you wasn't from LA, you just was not gonna get heard. But today you can put your music on the internet. You know
And
what I'm
everybody
saying?
can hear it.
My brother, my brother lived, Master E, he lived to battle people. Him and this dude named King Tut, they battled for like 7 hours. I'm not kidding you, man. But the other one just didn't want to go down and defeat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
So, you know, battling was just the thing. Then we had our own, like when we did when I seen the Fresh Festival, we started doing that in Cincinnati. The Fresh Festival was my boy Omar Cash, uh, Double Trouble, you know what I'm saying? Uh, the Yes MCs, the Legion of Rap, the Bun Hill Crew, where we would give our own concerts at St. Agnes. St. Agnes was on California Avenue. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And we used to do our own thing. Drac Mother used to be like, I can help y'all do y'all own thing. Like they Run DMC was big and they doing they thing. Like y'all could do y'all own thing. And it was kind of successful. I mean, once again though, fights break out, but you can't help that.
Yeah.
Nobody was getting killed though. You know what I'm saying?
That's the good thing,
You know,
man.
like that's yeah. Like when people that was selling dope back then didn't want you to know they was selling dope. Now
Yeah.
rappers will tell you they sell dope. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference.
Yeah, it's wild. Everything is kind of about drugs and killing. And it's just like I said, it seemed like it lost its soul, man. Um, hey,
Yeah.
where can people go to find your music? I know you got a YouTube channel, and you post your beats on there. Are you gonna ever plan to like put like some actual songs on there, like if you like rapping or
Yep.
anything like that?
Yep.
Yeah,
It just search Cassidine Productions, and people be like, "Why did you choose that name?" Because when I was a kid, it was this soap opera. The people don't even know about that. And Luke and Laura and the Cassidines, they was gangsters. And they say it's still going on today, but that's why I chose that name. But just search Cassidine Productions. My music go on there. But yeah, I'm gonna be putting music on there. I'm gonna be spitting lyrics. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna
but
do it the way I used to do it. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? It ain't about drug dealing. It ain't about killing. I just rap. If you like it, it's old school. It's authentic. You know what I'm saying? Do I get at other rappers that used to be rappers back in the day? Yeah.
it sounds
Just
great.
search Cassidine Productions. Yup,
Yeah, it sounds great, and we need that. We
man.
need that original hip hop that gets back to its roots. Um, and just have it be fun and uplifting. Yeah, man. But hey,
Man,
uh, this was a really enlightening conversation. I never knew all this stuff happened in Cincinnati. When you think about
man.
Cincinnati, you basically think about hip hop. So this was definitely
Like,
enlightening, man. I learned a lot.
I'm gonna stretch you out just a little bit. Like when I met Houdini and them, like
Yeah,
when they started coming back to Cincinnati, I mean, this was like maybe 10 years ago. We did a show at Rhino's, like, can you get the Bun Hill crew? Like when I met, they wouldn't like stars. They just was cool people. You know what I'm saying? So we did a couple of shows with Houdini, Curtis Blow. That's another person that's just humble. He don't act like he's a star. I'm all that. Like I'm too good. Like when they had all this security, Curtis Blow was like, man, don't put no security around. We old school. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna let you wrap up your show. I
Hey,
know I
it's
rambled on, man.
hey, this is really enlightening, man. I would definitely implore people. I'm gonna put the link to your music in the show description, and I definitely implore people to go and check your music out, man.
Because my beat is your intro.
It is, yes, the intro and outro, man. It's a great beat, great music,
Hey,
man.
I, I'm gonna give a few shouts out, like the DJs that was on WAIF, Baby Hawk, may he rest in peace. Dr. Ice, I still talk to him from time to time. Sugar Daddy, but he do the R&B blues thing. Rockmaster J, the people. DJ Squire was the DJ that ran all the parties. Butch Gibson. I know I'm forgetting people. I love y'all. I'm sorry.
It's all right, man. Whatever happened to WAIF? Is that radio station still around, or did it
Yeah,
change?
yeah, yeah.
It's still
Nah,
around?
it's still around.
Yeah.
WAIF is still around in Cincinnati. Like it's a
What's
community radio station.
what's the
I don't know what they play, but
what's the
W 88.3. 88.3.
88.3? All right, I'm gonna check it out.
Point 3 WAIF Cincinnati. That's how they made us stars, man.
Yeah.
They did.
Hey, I'm gonna definitely check
I
it
thank
out.
you, man. I thank you so much for letting me do this, man. I
Hey,
had a
no problem.
frustrating weekend. I was telling you about it, but I'm glad that we got this off, man.
Hey, me too, bro. It's been real cool, man.
Okay.
All right,
All
I'm gonna
right,
go ahead. Hey, bro, take it easy. I'll see you Monday, man.
okay. All right, peace.
All right, peace out. All right, that's a wrap. Thank you for joining us for another enlightening conversation here on Bright Brains. I hope you've gained valuable insights and inspiration to fuel your own bright ideas. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to like and subscribe, rate, and leave a review on your favorite podcast platform or however else you listen to this podcast. Also, we can be found on all major social media. Just type in Bright Brains with a Z. And remember, the brightest minds are those that never stop seeking knowledge.